Hello and welcome to another video. In our previous video, we have seen how to set up our server using Express.js. In this video, we are going to see how to set up our SQL. So let's get started. For our SQL, we'll be using MySQL workbench. So for SQL, we'll be using MySQL workbench. If we just go to local instance, in my schemas, I first need to create a new schema for my task manager. So if you will just go in a little above in the header section, you can see an icon saying create new schemas. It's right here, create a new schema in our server. So let's just click on this icon and we'll get to this page. Here we need to add the name of my schema. So the name of my schema would be, say, to do task manager, and I need to click on the apply button and again the apply button. Here, as you can see, under the schema section, my schema, that is to do task manager, has been created. Once I open this to-do task manager by double clicking on it, you can see that we have tables, views, etc. Now in my schema, I need to create a new table. So to create a new table into the schema, you can see that there is one option right next to my create schema, that is create a new table in my active schema. So I'll just need to click on this icon and you can get to this page. Here we need to add the name for my table. So the name for my table would be tasks, and we just need to click on this two arrow icon, and now here we have a page that lets us to create columns under my table tasks. So my first column would be for the task ID. So my column name itself would be task ID. My data type of my task ID is going to be int. It is my primary key. It is not null. I also need it to be unique. I even need to click on this auto increment checkbox as well. Auto increment lets us increment the IDs automatically, and we do not need to assign the IDs for each and every task that we create. We don't need any default value for my task ID. The next column that I'll create is going to be for the name of my task. So I'll just name it task, or say one task. Its data type is going to be varchar, but its limit is not going to be 445. I'll just increase it to say 150 in case the user has a bigger task to do for the day. This will also be not null. I don't need that to be my primary key. It will be unique as well. That's it. So I think 2 columns would be enough for my table. I just need to click on this apply to make the changes and on apply again. Okay, so if I'll just go in my table and expand it, you can see our table named task has been created. In this similar fashion, we can create more than one table in my schema also. And if I'll just go to this button right here, a small with a table and a lightning bolt sort of thing on it, and if I click on that, here we have our columns, that is task ID and task. Right now we have not added any task ID and task in my table, so it is null by default. I can add any task here as well. Say my task would be to bake a cake, and I need to click on apply to add that task in my column. apply again and finish. And as you can see, we have our tasks and my task ID as well. Okay, so in this way, in this way we have created columns in my schema successfully. We can even write the queries that I want in this panel. Right here we have select star from to do task manager. What this will do is that it will give me all the values in my to do task manager schema and the name of my table, that is task. So what is remaining now is that my backend is working, my front end is also working. I need to connect my backend to my front end. This will be doing in our next video. Thank you, and do watch the next video as well.